My daughter was diagnosed with Turner syndrome when I was 12 weeks pregnant. It quickly changed the entire experience of my pregnancy. I like to talk about this because every time I do talk about it, I connect with other moms who are going through very similar situations. And I remember feeling so alone. And if I can help one person not feel alone, then I feel like I've told the story for a reason. So initially I went in for my 12-week scan where they tell you the gender of your baby, do a genetics test. Remember, you get an ultrasound at that appointment as well. And I remember during the ultrasound, they were kind of quiet. I mean, I didn't really pick up on too much because it was my first time being pregnant. But thinking back, I do remember them being like a little quiet, not super chatty. And then I remember the nurse told me that she wanted to take me into another room and I was going to speak with the doctor. I don't really remember too much from this appointment, but I do remember the doctor telling me that the back of her neck was measuring wider than what is within range or normal. And she actually told me that with that, there was a high probability that my daughter was going to be born with Down syndrome. At that point, she gave me all our options and, we were going to do further testing. And I actually ended up going in for, I always say it wrong, an amniocentesis. I hope that that's correct. After we got the results back from the genetics test, it actually came back that my daughter had Turner syndrome. And I remember being super bummed hearing that because I knew that Turner syndrome was only in girls. So at that point, I found out quickly what the gender was. I went in for the amniocentesis right after we got that confirmation, which then also came back with a high probability of Turner syndrome. Now that didn't change anything for my husband and I, but we just wanted to know. Looking back, I kind of wish that we just didn't know all of this at the time because it would have taken away a lot of stress during my pregnancy. Should have done this before my mascara, but because what I was quickly told was that the miscarriage rate is like a 99% chance for a miscarriage when you have Turner syndrome, which my whole entire pregnancy, I was stressed out about having a miscarriage or a stillbirth. Probably should have put a trigger warning on that because, that is like really heavy topic. Genuinely, like everything that I was eating, everything that I was doing for workouts, I was always like, is this going to cause problems? Which, if you know anything about Turner syndrome, there is like literally nothing that you could have done to prevent it. It's totally at random. And, I wish I could go back and like tell myself that I just need to live in the moment and just trust the process and God's timing. Again, my scenario is very different. Every case by case is very different because mine ended up being totally okay. My daughter is very happy, very healthy. She's running, she's jumping, she's playing, she's thinking totally fine. She was a little late on hitting like her walking milestones, crawling milestones, but everything ended up coming out totally fine. And she actually also had the diagnosis of agenesis of the corpus callosum. Apparently the two don't go together, but I've met a lot of moms whose daughters also have both. So I don't know. I kind of feel like there may be a correlation. I just feel like there's not enough scientific stuff behind it to really say my own opinion. But anyways, if you're going through something like this, I want to give you a hug and let you know that you are not alone. And while I can't promise an outcome for you, I am here and just know that I can